A bittersweet episode of Breaking the News Plus as we say goodbye to our dear friend and newsroom leader, Belinda Jensen. Belle?
Oh, that's nice to say. You know, it's so funny because I honestly, I came here so young, Jana, that with every fabric of my being, I still feel like I'm the young one in the newsroom. And then I kind of realized when Randy left that I'm literally the oldest. And that is so weird to me. That's so weird to me. But
how are you today on your last day at KARE?
Yeah, I just pulled in and it felt weird. You know, this place, I've been coming here for over half my life, you know, pulling in that driveway. And I joke that, you know, when you drive in your driveway and you're going to your garage and you hit the garage door, numerous times, no lying, be pulling in here after running around with kids and grabbing one kid from skiing and one kid from baseball or whatever it is, whatever the season, grabbing food, doing this, running back in here. And I come pulling in. I'm like, oh, that's right. There's no garage door here.
I don't live here.
I kind of feel like I do, though. So that's kind of funny.
It's interesting that you brought up, you know, the drive here because you've been here 33 years. I've been here 23 years. It's muscle memory. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I find myself not even thinking and I'm like, oh, I'm on my way to KARE. Mm-hmm. When you walk out tonight, what do you want to feel?
You know, I think weather is an interesting thing. I mean, news is at times so remarkable and so fulfilling and so dramatic and so horrific. Weather has emotions as well, but I think weather is the one tangible thing between everybody. And so that's why I think when you are a weather person, a meteorologist in a market like this where weather is, I mean, we're in the Super Bowl of weather, right? I think the reason people connect with you and trust you and come to you for that crucial information is because weather is so much more than highs and lows. It's really just the pattern of our lives. Like, what are we going to wear? Will we be able to go to the baseball game? Will we be able to bring grandma to graduation, or is it going to be indoors? Will we be able to go to the cabin, or are the roads closed because of this or that? Will the severe weather knock every single tree down in the yard or not? It's so personal. Mm-hmm. So for me, and then what I really realized is during the pandemic, when it was so daunting, those times were so daunting, I realized that in the middle of everything, those 3 minutes in the middle where I hit, it didn't matter if I was forecasting a severe storm or a blizzard. I had the opportunity to smile, and I had the opportunity to be uplifting and talk about, you know, we're not in charge. I mean, Mother Nature's in charge, and that's a nice thing. Mm. We're not going to be able to mess us up because Mother Nature is in charge. And I'm going to be able to, for 3 minutes, we're not going to talk about deaths or immunizations or riots or fires or murders. We're going to just talk about clouds. And I understood at that moment that was what I got to bring to the table. And I figured out it was really, really important.
That's interesting. You are, and it's not really arguable, you are KARE 11. Mm. People know us, and then because of Belinda Jensen. What does that feel like to you?
Well, I'm KARE 11, and KARE 11 is me. I mean, I interned here when I was 20 years old. I came here when I was 25 years old. This is a station that I identified with in 10th grade when I wrote a term paper with Paul Douglas. And I interviewed him on the phone, and he answered the phone. And I interviewed him, and I got an A on the paper, and then I got his job. So this is where, and you know, and over the years, not that many. I mean, I'm being really honest, not that many, but over the years, I had opportunities to go across town and across the country, and the way I work is I have to visualize where I am and like what that's going to be like for me, and I never could visualize doing that, and so it always was just to stay here. And and of course, we established our lives here, and we had our children here, and being pregnant on TV was fun. Trying to get that tummy out of Wisconsin.
Did that twice.
Trying to get that tummy out of Wisconsin because it was covering up Wisconsin, baby.
That's a shout out to your hometown.
That's what was going on there. But anyway, so, and then it gets to a point where you're here so long that you kind of like, you're not getting any other opportunities anyway. And then you just kind of have to go on the downward glide. I'm on the bottom of the glide, yeah.
No, you're not. So how did you know it was time?
I don't have a definitive answer to that. I think that I wanted to make sure that I had enough vigor and energy left to try things that I wasn't able to do while I was here. And with that said, I could have absolutely stayed. I could have absolutely stayed until my 60s. I'll be 58 this summer. Absolutely, I could have. But my husband is in his 60s. We're empty nested now. We just transitioned. We just downsized. We're doing all the things. And so this is going to allow me to try and be able to do other things that, again, with this job you can't do, like legally you can't do. And I'll be able to go try those things and see what that will be like for me. And then it's been a blessing. It's been an amazing job. It's been an opportunity of a lifetime. All the things that they've given me in my 33 years, absolutely. But with that said, and you know this well, and anyone in this building knows, that the 5, 6, and 10, 5, 6, and 10, 5, 6, and 10, 5, 6, and 10, it is a grind. We have to be on TV when everyone's at home. Otherwise, why would, no one will watch. So I'm looking forward to getting out of that grind, that schedule. Yeah, like making dinner at home at 5 and like pajamas by 9.
Right, and watch the next weather person tell you what's going to happen with
and
your jams from your home.
And then, babysitting the radar and watching every severe storm and making sure we're covering it exactly the way we need to. And that whole definition has changed in my time. And now there's so many platforms and so many things, streaming and everything else. Every time one of those things crops up, it is paramount that we cover it in every way and form, and that's a lot. And that's a lot, and I get it. We got to be where the eyeballs are, and the eyeballs are everywhere. Yeah. And so, and it's still, we need to get it right. We need to make sure people are safe, and so there's a lot of onus in that, and then there's a lot of pressure with that too. And my team is great, and we work as a team, and they will continue to do that.
What's the biggest misconception of you from your fans? Do they know how funny you are?
Oh, I don't know about that. Well, that's funny. I don't know how they. You know what? I think the key to this, and you're an amazing example of that. The only way that I think you're successful in this business is if you are yourself. If you try to be somebody else, people are going to figure it out. Yeah. Like you can't be two people. And so I've always just been myself with the flaws and with, the hiccups and with the different failures at times. And this market has always been so gracious. And I think that's something everyone's like that. So maybe that's what's endearing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they know me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know me. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets?
Regrets. No, I don't think so. I really do hope, like I interned here, Jamie, Ben, John, all interned here. Interning is so important, and we've lost that internship program here because of a number of reasons. And I really think that's a loss, and I really hope that comes back, because I think that's the way to really help people understand what the business is really about and then push them into these great careers. I was able to hire back 3 of my interns, and then Doug hired me. Paul Douglas hired me. And that's the only reason I'm here, is because, so I regret that they decided to not have interns. And I hope that changes. Because that's important.
Well, because when I, from being your friend and coworker and other meteorologists that I've known over the years, the love of weather kind of starts young. This raw curiosity, this awesome wonder of why the sky is doing what it does. You've given that gift to my son through your children's books. And I think about, why that's so important to nurture that from day one. And one of the things I want to commend you for is, yes, those children's books, but you've gone into schools to talk to our kids about weather. Belle the Weather Girl says, weather's not so scary once you understand it.
Yep, she does.
Why is that so important to you?
Well, what I found out when I went into literally, I've had the opportunity with my schedule to be in thousands of classrooms, and mainly second graders, because that's the first time you really learn atmospheric science, weather. And those kids taught me, and those kids and the light bulb moments of when I was explaining things and I could see the room light up, those were the books. Those are the books.
Yeah.
Those are the books that I ended up writing because of those kids. And I realized that with the 24/7 news cycle that we all live in, that we're a part of, you have to understand that comes with the potential of a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to the weather. If there's a massive, and everybody has a camera now. So every single storm is going to show up on a newscast or a social feed. And if it's a massive storm and people get hurt, and that's going to show up even more, it's going to be viral. So little kids cannot delineate between that storm in Oklahoma and a dark cloud in Rogers.
Right.
And they think that the storm in Oklahoma is coming out of the dark cloud in Rogers. And so I found that firsthand when I was in the classrooms, the fear and the anxiety. It was twofold. There was these kids who were way into it, and then there was the other half of the room that had the fear and the anxiety. And that wasn't the way it was when we were kids.
Right.
We didn't have a picture of every single storm.
No.
Sitting in our mom's lap on a phone.
I just knew we had to go to the basement when Mom said.
Right.
That's it.
And that wasn't
she learned it from TV
and
or
that
the
wasn't
radio.
that often. But
No.
nowadays, every dark cloud, and even my daughter, every time the weather got bad, the problem was Mom left.
Yeah.
So, that's just a personal problem that we had at home. And so Dad had to take over. But she was very afraid. And so then I wrote the books for all of those kids and her. And of course the dog, who was also afraid, Coda, who became Stormy. And then I think through the books, we've been able to help kids because they can sit down with the book and then they can understand and they can become their own weather person, their own meteorologist.
It's absolutely true.
Clues in the clouds.
See it in my own home.
I appreciate that.
I want to know. We got a question from in the hallway. And they were thinking, everybody's processing this. I don't know if you know that. And almost imprinting it, like, how would I feel if that were going on? And they're like, well, maybe it's like the last day of school. But this is like the last day of college or high school. Like, you're going into something that's different. And you're leaving. Your friends are going to stay here. Or they're going to go somewhere different.
Yeah.
It's both an exciting time and a scary time. What are you feeling like on your last day of school?
Well, I don't know what the first day of summer is going to feel like on Monday. I just don't know what that's going to feel like when I'm not coming in here at 2 and I'm not going home at 10:30. And maybe the first day will be, whoa, but then like by day 3 and 4, like what's that going to be like? So I think the cadence of my life is going to be very different. And I don't know what that cadence is going to feel like. I'm very excited I think about it and I'm excited for it. So I will miss the people in this place. I will miss the camaraderie. I will miss the team effort that we all have to put in for all of the hard times and the difficult things that we have to talk about. Mainly you guys, and I'm there with it in my ear. So I'm witness to it. And I'm going to miss the fun, frivolity, and crazy, uncontrolled chaos of the Saturday show that I've been on for 33 years. I'm going to miss being with Bobby and Julie and all the anchors and reporters. And I'm going to miss being firsthand, being on the set coming out of a Boyd Hooper story and trying to do weather, trying to pull myself together. I'm going to miss all that. I'm going to miss the backyard. I love the backyard. It's so pretty. My best weather office ever. And I'm going to miss my team, my guys, and Courtney. And I think, I'm not leaving. I'm not evaporating. I'm not dying. I'm healthy and good and here. So I will see them all. I will see them all. I'll just not see them in this grind. Yeah. I'll see them beyond the grind. Maybe that will be better. Right?
Everybody loves you. Oh. And do you have a message for your fans tonight that they can hear where we don't have a clock ticking that says you have to wrap? Is there anything you want to say?
Well, again, weather is so much more than just clouds and rain. It's really just the basis of our lives, and I appreciate that I had a chance and a stage to be the scientist in the room and to hopefully be able to talk about really fun, interesting things that maybe you didn't know about. Paul Douglas taught me that. Every newscast, make sure they understand the 7-day at the end, but also maybe tell them a little bit about phenology, tell them a little bit about climatology, tell them a little bit about astronomy, give a little bit more science, be the scientist in the room, and then people walk away with that, and then they feel smarter, and it's a full circle. It's a fun thing, and I had a chance to do that for so long, and I appreciate that. And I will continue to do that, just smaller stages.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Belinda Jensen, it has been an honor and a pleasure to work with you.
Oh, thanks, Jana.
I look forward to our next chapter as friends.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching Breaking the News Plus tonight. Take care.